Did you know that it takes 2 months to form a habit? Today I'm going to give you 6 tips to help you make writing your habit. Hey all, and welcome back to the channel. Now we've all heard the advice that we should be writing every single day. Well, today I'm calling bullshit. Being able to write every single day is a luxury that a lot of us would love, but it's just not always practical. However, I do believe that forming some kind of writing habit is really important. So today we're going to have a chat about some of the things that have helped me begin building that habit. Before we get into the juicy stuff though, if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button down below if you like this kind of content. I'm releasing videos every week and subscribers give me warm fuzzies. Okay, so let's acknowledge that forming any kind of habit can be really hard. You have to do it a lot of times before it's going to stick. That's even more true when the thing you are doing is hard, and writing most certainly can be really hard. If writing a book is something you really want to achieve, you need to give yourself the absolute best chance to complete that goal that you can. Okay, so here we go. Let's get into those 6 tips for building a writing habit. Number 1. Consider when your creative juices flow. We all work best at different times of the day. I personally work the best in the morning before anything else takes over my day, but there are definitely a ton of writers who work best at night. There is no right or wrong when it comes to this. It is completely individual, and working it out what works for you is going to help you a lot when you come to point 2. Consider your schedule and lock in time. Some people may also know this as calendar blocking, but that's quite administrative. Everyone has different things going on in their life, and there are a whole heap of things that we have to do. Some of us have jobs, some of us have school, there are kids. There are things that need to happen in our lives, and these aren't things that can just stop because we want to write a book. So what I'm suggesting is that you have a look at your schedule. You can use a Google Calendars, or you can use a diary, or you can do it in your head, whatever way works for you, and completely block out those times that you know you cannot write. It might be 9 to 5 if you've got a job. You might be at school from 9 till 3. Block it out so you know that that's not feasible time. Once you've blocked out the times that you know you can't write, you see that you've got a whole heap of time when you can write. And if you combine this with point number 1, when you write best, then you can work out when you could schedule some writing time. Now this doesn't have to be absolutely every day, but you do need to make it an appointment for yourself. And that means that it's just as important as any other appointment that you might have in your calendar. You wouldn't sort of skip your doctor's appointment every week, so why would you skip this really important appointment with yourself? This is going to look entirely different for everyone, and it may be that you can genuinely only get a writing session in once a week, and that's okay as long as you honor that appointment as best you can with yourself. Number 3, create a writing ritual. You'll probably know by now that when you come to do a writing session, it's an amazing feeling when you really do have a good session. And you want to give yourself the absolute best chance you can to have a good session. You'll probably know that there's this odd kind of mental zone that you can get into when you're having a good session, where the words just kind of flow. That's what we're aiming for every time we write. Creating a ritual before or during your writing session can be really helpful to tell your brain that it's time to get into that zone. It could be anything from getting a cup of coffee to wearing certain clothes. Whatever works for you. Personally, I like to have a candle going, and I like listening to fantasy type music through my headphones. If you've seen my NaNoWriMo videos from 2018, you'll know I've got my writing poncho that I wear. It's weird, but it works. Number 4, set goals. You know, this is actually something I really struggle with personally. When there's an external force setting a goal, like say NaNoWriMo, then I'm really good at it. But setting those kinds of goals for myself, something I'm still working on. But goals are really important, and they need to be a little bit more thought out than, I want to write a book. Of course you do. We all do. You're going to need to make your goals somewhat quantifiable. For me, I work quite well to word count goals. This may be words per day, might be words per week. You can choose. The one thing that they need to be is realistic and achievable. Still challenging, but still realistic. How much time have you got that you can realistically spend on your writing every week? Does your word count goal match the amount of words that you can write in that time? If you've got an hour, a word count goal of 5,000 words isn't really achievable, unless you're like Superman/woman. Then go you, but for me, No matter what the goal is, you need to be able to look back at the end of the time frame and say, yes, I achieved it, or no, I didn't. And if you didn't achieve it, why not? Did life just take over? Or was the goal maybe a little more unachievable than you thought it was? Goals are also allowed to change. Life changes. So feel free to take into consideration what's going on in any particular week and adjust your goal accordingly. But it's still best to stay as consistent as you can. Habits are about repetition after all. My foot's gone dead. Ooh! That's such a weird sensation. You touch your foot and you can like feel in your fingers that you're touching it, but you can't feel it in your foot. Ooh, dead foot. Okay, number 5, reward yourself. Yes, rewards. So let me ask you a question. What happens when you hit that word count goal, or you write for that 10 hours that you wanted to write for that week? Nothing? Well, that's lame. Incentives work just as well for us big kids as it does for the little ones. You want some pudding? You've got to eat your vegetables. Want to watch Netflix? Get your writing done first. Giving yourself something to look forward to can be a really powerful thing. If just finishing a book is enough for you, that is awesome. Go you. But I struggle with that myself. Maybe I shouldn't struggle with that, but I do. Movies, TV, time with friends, eating out, whatever floats your boat. Whatever is going to make you want to achieve your writing goals when the writing can get a bit hard. Some people would say that just writing is reward enough for them. And that's great, but writing can be bloody hard sometimes, so it's nice to have a non-writing reward to look forward to. Number 6. And I have come to realize that this point is borderline the most important point of all, and that is that self-care is key. Ooh, I've got an itchy face. I am a firm believer that looking after yourself and making a habit out of that too is so important for your writing. I don't know how many studies there are that tell you that having a healthy lifestyle is fantastic for your brain. I know from experience how much harder it is to sit down and write when you're not feeling good physically or mentally. So get up, go for a walk, jump around, dance, do whatever you need to do to get a little bit of physical activity into your life. When you're feeling good, your creativity is far more likely to flow, and of course it's going to help every other aspect of your life too. But I'm not actually just talking about physical exercise or about eating well. It's all about being kind to yourself. If something comes up and you can't write for one of the days you had planned to, don't beat yourself up about it. Show yourself some love. If you've had an emotionally taxing day, don't use up more of your emotional bandwidth. If you need to rest, rest. No guilt there. No guilt there. Take what you need. Just make sure that it's not an excuse to sit down in front of Netflix, Keep yourself accountable as well. So that's all I've got for you today, my 6 tips for helping you build a writing habit. I'm really keen to know if there's anything in particular that has helped you build a writing habit too. Leave a comment down below, help me, help the community, and we can all get some more writing done. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and I'm also reviewing on GOODREADS. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button on the way out. But for now, have a look at your schedule, see where you can fit in some writing. And don't forget to laugh at yourself. I'll see you next time. Bye. Oh my God, guys, you better appreciate that I put this poncho on. It is the 4th day in a row that it has been 38 degrees Celsius. That's 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I hope you appreciate this. Oh my God.